Hello students, there are some signs that tell you that you are getting deviated from your studies. You want to know those signs? Then this video is for you. The first thing that creeps in your habit is the lack of focus. Maybe you might be very good in studies already, but you experience that you are having a lack of focus in your study. So let me tell you students, this lack of focus, this distraction, maybe you are going to sit and study but you are getting distracted. Let me tell you, this is the first sign that you are slowly getting deviated from studies. And how to overcome it? This is of course self-control. You need to create a proper schedule. You need to avoid a lot of distractions. Throw your phone away when you are actually sitting to study. Use website blockers. If you are going for online education, use website blocker. Use app limit tools. So these are going to help you not to lose focus when you're actually in your studies. The second sign is procrastination. You might be seeing that you are not doing something that can be finished very fast. Some assignments or something to study, you are pushing it off for the final moment. Maybe you have an assignment which you need to submit after a week, and you wait until the week is finishing to submit that. So these are the signs that you are procrastinating your study. Right? And it is a very bad study habit. So this is one sign that can actually tell you that you are actually getting deviated from your studies, right? And how to overcome it? You need to manage everything in a small chunk of work. Because you know what happens when we see that there is a lot of things to complete, our brain tells, okay, I'll do it later, right? The work kind of expands. You won't even start it, but at least you need to begin to complete it. And to begin, you need to make everything into small pieces of work. And once you start achieving those small pieces of work, you will be able to achieve the whole task. And you can also use Pomodoro technique. So you have to be very disciplined in what you need to complete. So this is one of the way to overcome procrastination. The third thing that you will observe is your declining grades. And yeah, it's very much true. You might be observing that your grades are reducing, or you might be observing that teachers are giving some negative feedback about your studies. So let me tell you, this is one of the signs that where your lack of motivation or lack of self-control is creeping in, and this is going to ultimately deviate you from the studies. All right, you might be thinking, okay, I did not study for this particular examination, so what, I will go for the next examination. No, it is not going to happen. Once that steep decline starts, it's very difficult to come back. So you need to be very careful when something like this is happening to you. And how to overcome it? You need to seek help from your teachers. You need to seek help from your friends. You need to understand what really is happening. You need to understand what really is going wrong. And you have to reevaluate yourself. You need to see that if you're doing a proper revision, if you are on a right track, you need to do the self-analysis. If you do not do that, you might slip off the track. And the fourth thing that you will observe in your habit is the loss of motivation. Yeah, so maybe you might have the passion, very good passion on that particular subject. Maybe because the teacher is good, maybe because you like the subject, but suddenly you observe that the motivation to study that subject is reducing. And so this is also a sign that you are actually getting deviated from the studies. So to overcome it, you need to find your passion again in the subject. Why did you like this subject before? Why did you like this subject before? What is the reason you like this subject? So you need to rediscover your passion. You need to rekindle that fire that you had for the subject. This is something that is a self-motivation that you need to do. More than anyone giving it to you, you need to find it again for yourself. This is the only way that you will be getting back from this particular trap. The fifth sign that you are going to observe is increased anxiety or increased stress in the particular subject. Yeah, this is a sign that you are overloading with that particular subject. And the reason why you are overloading is basically you are losing the interest and you feel the pressure that you need to perform in this subject also, right? So yeah, that is how the pressure comes. You know that you have been performing very well in the studies, but suddenly you had lack of motivation, you had something that because of which you are deviated from study. Now again in the examination you need to perform well, but you aren't in the same track right now. So this can cause increased stress in you. So students, if you're feeling that increased stress in you, you are also getting deviated from study, students. And how to overcome it? You need to manage your time. Here also I will say that you need to manage your time, break big work into smaller chunks, and if possible, if you are getting into too much of anxiety and depression, please do try to consult a counselor and take required help. The next sign that you are going to observe is the lack of interest in class. You are not having the same passion to attend that class. Maybe you might find some excuses to bunk the class. You might find some excuses to not to go in that class. Maybe you will start hating the teacher of that particular subject. So these are also small signs that which is leading to the deviation from your studies. So how to overcome it? Try not to bunk classes. Try not to miss classes. Because you might think that I know all this, what the teacher is saying, I don't require to do it again. Let me tell you, that is also a sign that can deviate you without your knowledge. So try not to miss any classes. The seventh sign, or I can say the seventh thing or habit which can deviate you from study is overloading yourself. Overloading yourself, I'm not saying that you're overloading yourself with studies, but you're overloading yourself with some extracurricular activities. You're overloading yourself with the things other than studies. It might be good for you. You might have to go to extracurricular activities. You might have to go to the dance competition, singing competition. But that's very much good. But once that is trying to overload you, you are going to lose time from your studies. And here you need to be very careful. And how to overcome it? Again, time management. Manage all your activities so that you do not get burnt out, right? Because in school, 1 month there might be a practice for annual day, and during the whole 1 month you might have missed the class, and that is going to accumulate, leading for you to deviate yourself from studies. Because at the end you might think, oh my god, I have never seen all these concepts in my life, and you are going to suffer because of that. So that is one thing that you need to be careful about. Students, these are some of the basic signs that tell you that you are getting deviated from studies. We can include a lot more than that, but it is not possible to include everything in a single video. But there are many other types of distractions that also I can talk about. You are teenagers, right? But you will understand what I'm talking about. So students, so there are a lot of distractions that can come and try to deviate you from studies, but you need to identify which one is that, and you need to overcome that. So with that, students, I hope you have got this video kind of useful. You found this video useful. So please do like, share and subscribe this to all of your friends, and I hope we will be benefited. So until then, students, I will end my class. So until then, you will see the next video. So students, adios.